Good morning, good afternoon. This is the Banríon show. Today's Tuesday. We'll be talking about Islam and female mutilation on Irish News Radio, ITV.ie or irishnews.net. And if you want to contact us with any of the conversations, discussions we will be having, contact us at news@irishnews.net. Thank you very much for listening.
Hello, the Irish Family Planning Association.
Hello, I'm just wondering if you could, how many female mutilation clinics is there in Dublin, or how many is there in Ireland?
There's just one as far as I know. I can just double check that for you.
Yes, please.
Yeah, just 1 second. Hello there again.
Hello, how many is
Hi there. Just the one. Yeah,
just
it's
the one.
Just
And
yourselves.
how many women and children go through that? I believe that there was 4,000 on the opening in 2014. Like, how many women and children are going through it?
I can just figure that out for you, or find that out for you.
Okay, just another question before you go off and find that one. Is anybody being charged for this? Like, this is an absolutely horrific, one of the worst crimes that could ever happen to a female. Is anybody being charged? Like, are they just being ignored for cultural practice or whatever excuses? Like, is there anybody being charged? Is there any stopping to this?
As far as I understand, the service we do is just support for women, like we do.
Well, that's not really good if you're breaking the law. That's any more than if I was having a thing for my child who I was beating him up and we were having support for the children. You need to actually go after these people and find out who and why, and if they have any other children, they should be taken off them. It's completely disgraceful that you're actually ignoring it. What about that child who was about 2 or 3 years old who nearly bled to death in Dublin last year? Was the father even charged?
Oh yeah, I understand. I suppose it would be something I imagine that would be done with the women involved.
Because it wasn't reported that he was even charged. Like, in the UK, they have something like up to 50 a week. Nobody is being charged. Are you going to do the same in Ireland? Are we going to just ignore all of these children and women and not charge and put the rest of their families in danger by this attitude towards women and leaving their other children in danger? If the parents have done that to the children, they're going to do it to their other children. It's not just dangerous for the children, the migrants that you're bringing in, but it's dangerous for Irish women and Irish children that you're bringing in people with these attitudes towards women. It's absolutely disgusting. And they shouldn't be allowed into this country. Absolutely not. If that's how your view is about Irish or about women in general, you can't put the population, the native indigenous population, in danger. And that's what you are doing. It's absolutely horrific. Anyway, thank you. Bye.
All right. Okay, bye.
This is the Banríon show, and today we're talking about a very serious subject. We're going to be talking about female mutilation and why people... First of all, what is female mutilation? Female mutilation is where they chop the clitoris off a child, or in some cases an adult woman, up to a teenager. Usually from a child to a teenager, they chop the clitoris off.
You have reached the Irish Family Planning Association office in Gallagher Street, Dublin 1.
Good morning, Irish Family Planning. Can I help you?
Good morning. I believe that there is female mutilation. Is this a female mutilation clinic, or this is like to help them? I just read something in the papers there. What exactly?
You can book an appointment to see the doctor here. It's a FGM clinic.
Just a quick, but that's against the law. So are these people being arrested, or is there anything happening? Because, that's obviously abuse. It's extreme abuse.
But it's for women that have been abused and have come into this country. There wouldn't be to help them with that kind of thing, yes.
But why would you not be arresting the parents who have done this? Because obviously, the parents have put them up for this. Like, surely this is against the law, and that you should be saying either you shouldn't be allowing them into the country, they shouldn't be allowed into the country if this is what they're doing to their children, or their other children should be taken off them. Why isn't this sort of thoughts been happening? Like, you're allowing it and you're helping them after they've been severely abused. Like, that's pretty horrific.
No, they're not allowing anybody. They're helping the people that have been abused. These are people that have come into the country who have
but
from
surely
their
their
families.
parents, if they're young, their parents would have done it. Like, their parents would have sent them off somewhere. Well, they wouldn't have been
they wouldn't be able to get their parents because they live in different countries.
But surely they're coming into the country with their parents.
People.
So these are all
they
much
wouldn't be that
older. Are these
Oh yes, they wouldn't be. Oh yes, they wouldn't be children. They're all over 18 or 16. They wouldn't be underage children.
And
they're unaccompanied adults. They wouldn't have their families with them.
There's no younger kids in there.
No, definitely not. They don't see
and
children.
What about that child who was mutilated about a year ago? You know, the one who nearly bled to death in Dublin. Did anything happen? Did he get arrested? Like, are people who are doing this to children and females, are they being arrested? Is there anything happening with the law? Because it is illegal, and it's shocking that you're helping them. I think obviously you have to help them, but it's shocking that we're like kind of going, it's okay, you know, that they don't seem to be arrested. Was that man that child nearly bled to death, was he arrested?
You see, I don't know. I am only the receptionist that works here and books people in for appointments. You'd have to probably speak to our head office.
Well,
I can give you their phone number.
Absolutely disgraceful. We shouldn't just be like paying, you know, they're just helping them out. I do think that their family should be arrested. I think it should be all taken, and all their children should be taken off them. Not just the child that was mutilated, but all the children off them, because they're all at risk. That's a very, very dangerous practice.
I can give you the phone number of our head office.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll take it.
607 644 607 4456. But we don't see children here at all. There are only women that have come into the country that are above.
You've never seen any children, but there was one about that child. There was a few children in recent years who've been mutilated in Dublin.
But they never would have been in this clinic. That would be up to the Gardaí to do that. They wouldn't have come into this clinic. They don't see.
But we never heard whether that man was arrested after he mutilated his own child and she nearly bled to death.
I don't know, honestly.
And they were caught. She was screaming, crying, and they came in, and the child nearly bled to death. Like, this is just. Like, it's shocking that the government's taking in cultures that they don't understand. Like, you can't be doing this. This is not just dangerous for themselves, but it's dangerous for Irish women for these attitudes. Anyway, I'll give your head office a call. Thank you very much.
Okay. You're welcome. Bye. Bye.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is the Banríon Show. Today we're talking about a very serious subject, a very sad, horrific subject. We're talking about female mutilation. And for those who don't know what it is, it's when a female's clitoris is cut off. And sometimes it's sewn up afterwards. And it's for no other reason other than to stop females enjoying sex as she becomes an adult. Now, it'll happen to children from an infant up to 15, and on odd occasions adult women if it hasn't. It's the most barbaric, horrible practice. People deny it's anything to do with Islam. Yes, it has. Although it's not in the Quran, it is in the Hadith, as Muhammad explains to a man who comes to him how to cut the clitoris. So this is very, very serious. People will argue that it's to do with other things. No, it isn't. There is one Christian tribe in Africa that does it, but that's because they have they're an Arab Africans. They're not to do. Now, there is the main people who do it all over the West, the only people who do it in the Western world, England, Ireland, any countries, America, Australia, all over the Western, is Muslims. People are trying to deny this or put it as anything else, but it is, and it is because of the Hadith. And this happens to Muslim women all over the world, whether it's in the West or in not. And the problem with the West is that we're turning a blind eye to it. Up to 50 to 100 women is guessed in the UK happens every day where they're female mutilated. Not one person has ever been charged. And we're doing the same today, as I've put on my phone calls to the female mutilation clinics about it. I mean, it's absolutely a disgrace that is in this country, that they would even allow this in. And it's horrific. They're doing exactly the same. It opened in 2004. Almost 4,000 women are believed in Ireland at that time to have undergone female mutilation. Although it's illegal in this country, nothing is being done. Like the UK, like every other. I think in France they have charged a few people for doing it, but Ireland will probably follow exactly like the UK and just ignore it. Now, it's run by a Family Planning Association, IFPA, a Migrant Warrant Network, and the HSE, which is pretty disgraceful. There's no money for Irish women. There's no money for cervic cancer. There's no money for anything. But these women, and this is terrible that this happened to them, but then, you know, cervic cancer is something that you couldn't have prevented. This is something that could be prevented and stopped. We don't need to take these women in. They're not Irish. We're taking in problems and putting money into it, where Irish women are dying of cervic cancer, something that was not... There was not something that they could not help. You know, it's not something that they did. Where not obviously these women chose to be mutilated, but it's something that didn't have to happen to any of those women. They don't have to be going through their horrific pain, and we shouldn't be having to pay for it. I mean, what happens to them is severe bleeding, and a lot of them die in horrific pains, problems going to the toilet, urinating. It can also carry cysts, infections, and complications in childbirth. And when they're stitched up, because all the infections, if down there is all stitched up, you can't clean it, you can't get at it. So infections get at it. Like, it's absolutely horrific. And yeah, it needs to be opened up, all that sort of stuff. But this isn't really an Irish problem. Like, we shouldn't be having to deal with it. We have our own problems. We shouldn't be taking in people who are doing barbaric acts. Not just that they're doing it for their own women, but for our women. If they're seeing that this is dangerous, they are dangerous towards women, and they are dangerous to the Irish population. This is their view on women, that they should chop them up so that they don't enjoy sex. It's absolutely horrific. Now, it's mostly, we know, Africans and Middle East. Now, Africans that are Muslims. And it's absolutely horrific that they're doing it. And you know, it's frightening. I've rang a few people up there to talk about it, but it's shocking. And it's funded by the HSE. The HSE can't even look after Irish women. Why are they looking after this? They're putting money. We don't have money. And the National Social Inclusion Office, Inclusion Office for migrant women. You know that nothing is going to be done, because inclusion is more important than Irish women's lives or Irish children or anything else that our money should be going into. Not servicing clinics that should have never happened, that are totally illegal, that they shouldn't be taking in these women. If they have the problems, that you can't be bringing them into our country. They absolutely shouldn't be coming into our country, and any of their family or anything should be charged, and they should be sent out. This is just not acceptable. And it's not acceptable that Irish women are put on the backlist. They're putting money in where they can't even look after cervic cancer. They can't look after Irish women or Irish children, yet they're putting it into migrants, which was unnecessary. None of these is necessary. There's no health benefits in chopping off somebody's clitoris. There's nothing other than horrific pain and absolutely disgusting tortures, barbaric torture of hatred of women. It is disgusting. And if you can guarantee, if these people are coming in with that attitude that they want their clitoris chopped off, that is their view of women. They are not worthy of anything, not even experiencing sexual pleasure. And if that is their view is very dangerous towards our population, towards the indigenous Irish. Why would you take people in like that? And you can guarantee their husbands came along as well, and their husbands want them chopped up. So they didn't just come in, those women didn't just come in on their own and get the boat. They're coming in with all their family. And probably the parents who chopped them up, the husbands who insisted that that they'd be chopped up. None of them should be in the country. If you're putting money into anything, should be to the Irish women, to cervicancers, where they did not choose, or they could not. It was something that they couldn't prevent. But this is totally preventable and totally disgusting. And it's shocking that the Irish are putting them. But because it's Islam again, nothing will be done. Just like the UK, because their lives are worth more than the indigenous population. It is a disgrace, absolutely disgrace, that we're taking this into our country. If there's anything you want to talk about, it's absolutely, you know, riling up me again. These things about Islam and people pretending it's not. That's what really annoys me. This is Irish News Radio, itv.ie, or irishnews.net. news@irishnews.net. Listen, thank you very much for listening. It's a horrific subject, but we need to be educated about Islam, and you need to know the truth about it. And that is the truth. Female mutilation is part of Islam. Anybody who denies it is lying. It is in the Hadith, and it is part of the culture. A guy, Iman in Clonskee, actually said it was beneficial, that he wouldn't stop it. This is absolutely horrific, people. We shouldn't be taking any of them in. It's not our problems. We shouldn't even be having these discussions. It's not our problem. We don't need to be putting money into other people's absolutely disgusting practices and bringing them and their families who did it in. We should be taking them all off or sending them out. Absolutely. Nothing to do with us, nothing to do with our way. Just, we've enough of our own problems. Anyway, thank you again. This is the Banríon Show. Thank you for listening. If you have any interesting you want to talk about this, it's news@irishnews.net if you want to have another discussion on it or ask any questions on this. Thank you very much for listening.
This is Irish News Radio. You can also email us at news@irishnews.net for further information what's happening around the country with a difference. You can also email us at news@irishnews.net with information and what's happening in your community and things that you may be concerned about, new residents in your area where there may be some drug pushing and things like that. We are getting very concerned about our community and what's happening in different parts of the country. So do please email us at news@irishnews.net. Thank you.